See if this works. I assume we're streaming. That looks good. Now, I had plans for more stuff to do tonight, but yeah, we're potentially going into 762. Alternatively, I might go to bed because I'm really tired. Yesterday we were 280th, which is a dang shame because I looked earlier and we were 269th for quite a long time. Today we get to play as Silent though. It's going to be an all cards run. One of those. Sorry, I just had to get that sorted out. One of those weird ones, but we haven't tried it yet. That's yesterday's. It's a new day. This guy's. It doesn't look like the scars are high. I think these people may all be being murdered. More points for us. Okay, maybe not. Maybe there's not as many points to be gained as we'd hope. Oh, hi, Shadowfox! Jeez, you're in quick! Have you seen Slay the Spire? Because that's what we're doing today. I'm possibly, I do have a plan for 762. I did, I spent a little while working some stuff out. Well, I did a tiny amount of prep. But, I am very tired, so I might go to bed. Well, we'll take a minute for this. These are our cards. This is a card game. You were waiting for me. Jeez. Yesterday, by the way, you asked me if I streamed any other games, and I gave a really weird answer. I stream Spire, and I've streamed 762 once. That was the first time. I'm not in the middle of anything else right now. I do have a couple of games that are ongoing that I've got save files that I have streamed, but my other streams were like months ago. I messed up some settings and I couldn't stream for a while. Anyway, this game, this is a deck building card game. Each turn we'll draw 5 cards. We'll have 3 energy to do things. The cost is in the top corner. It's going to be a bit weird because we're playing daily runs and they add extra weird stuff into the run that you wouldn't normally see. Normally it makes a bit more sense, but basically we have to get through 3 floors of increasingly difficult enemies. Actually, is this good? I didn't realize I could actually use that. I thought I needed to have mantra to do it. Today's daily is actually particularly weird because the cards we're going to see are a mix of all the different characters' cards. There's 4 distinct characters now, and they all do very different things. I could go switch on to 762 if you're not enjoying this. I don't know what to do it. It looks a bit. I think it's not really Pokemon except in luck. I can't. Any of these could be good. But it's. I'm not sure if you're familiar with roguelike games, but we're trying to make our deck good enough to beat the boss at the end. We have to keep going through. It's going to get harder and harder, and we won't be healing in between fights. This 69 health we've got. We have to we have to choose to heal at the cost of something else. Basically, we could be making our deck better, but if we'd be choosing to heal instead at opportunities. The bonfires are the only opportunities we'll even get to do that. And we're trying to make our deck better, but it's also possible that we could end up with events that'll happen that'll put cards in our deck that we can't even use, or that will play themselves and do something bad whenever we draw them. And if we die, that's it. That's the end of the run. These are daily runs, so we only get 1 attempt per day. But anytime you die, you just lost that run. The game takes like an hour, win or lose. Well, it can take less if you lose. I've been just sitting on this choice as well because it's really weird. Any of these could be good. I think I'm actually going to take that one. Upgrading one of these wouldn't be too bad. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Crescendo Plus would be good. This card, it's got Retain, so it's going to sit in our hand after we draw it, and it makes us enter Wrath stance. When we're in Wrath stance, we'll take and deal double damage. Which will really help for getting rid of any single easy enemies we come across. None of this looks good. Auto shield could be good, but I don't think we need it right now. It's possible we regret that because we don't have a lot of block, but sometimes when you don't have a lot of block, the way you get around it is by adding more punches and just hoping that having to block never really comes up. If you're not into this, tell me, because you are 100% of my audience. Mantra's not really what we're doing here. We could do Leap, but not feeling it. Cold Snap's fine, it makes an orb above our head that will give us block every turn. I should probably... block is just... If an enemy's going to hit you, the damage they're doing hits block first, and then it goes through to your health. Our health is going to get lower and lower every floor. That's because we've got a modifier. That means every floor we're going to lose max health. I don't know why I picked this route, because it only lets me fight one elite. But these big little skull things are elites. There's only 3 of these per floor. You don't know which one you're going to get when you hit an elite space. They're much more deadly than regular enemies. The sentries here are probably the easiest elite in the game. You can get you can run into problems with them if you can't kill them fast enough, because they're adding cards to our deck that are garbage. They just don't do anything. When you draw them, they take up space in your hand and then go away at the end of your turn. We fully blocked there. I think we should be able to... I thought we should be able to. I think we've actually used up all the cards with Mantra on them. If we do that, we're going to get hit really hard. I'm going to play this defend. It's pretty likely we get hit from this position. We'll get more points at the end of the run if we can beat elites without taking damage. And bosses. It really wants you to be able to beat bosses without getting hit. We are getting hit though, because we didn't draw any blocks. Shame. We'll naturally just get 5 block every turn, but if we get hit, that's going to go down. That's, again, one of these modifiers. Also, if the cards look weird, that's because I keep turning on... There's an option where you can turn on the art the developers drew for the cards while they were making the game. And I keep forgetting I've got it on. So it looks uglier than usual. It's still quite an ugly game. You play it for the gameplay, not the aesthetic. And these in this corner, and eventually it'll stretch across the screen. These are relics that we've got. These are basically cards that are always in play. I like Dash, but I'm not sure if this is the place for it. I do like Dash. Let's take it. This guy's really annoying. A lot of the enemies have like unique things that just they do. This guy's gonna try and hit us a few times. Whenever he hits us, he'll steal money from us. And if we can't kill him fast enough, he's gonna run away. I'm thinking we're gonna end up with 18-20 block. So we can get mad and just let him not be able to do enough damage. I'm not too worried about any of that. I've been trying to play a little bit faster because it's been taking me so long, but I'm not sure how that's going to pan out. Normally it's really hard to get enough block for just these. Well, we've got a pretty specific thing that we can do right now. We haven't seen any of the really interesting cards. It's part of it's because of the modifiers, all the cards for all the characters are mixed together. So we're seeing a lot of commons that we can't really use. That power potion's quite good. Potions, they do a pretty powerful thing. Once you use them, it's gone, and you can carry 3 around with you. That's not too good. Let's just take the power potion over that. That's we've already looked at. That's fine. Not too worried about that. We do actually get to fight 2 more elites if we're up for it. Didn't notice that. Read the paths wrong. One of the problems you're working towards fixing when you first start a run on Spire is the second floor is much harder than the first floor. There's a giant difficulty spike when you first go up. So I'm hoping we've got that under control. This game can get absurdly difficult as well. There's I didn't even think about that. This guy is one of the hardest elites, just for where he is and what he does. Every time you play a card that's a skill, there's 3 types of cards. Attacks do damage, skills do other things. And I could have killed him this turn and I blew it. I still could. It's worth doing it to save the damage. Probably. But whenever you play a skill against him, he gets 2 extra strength. Strength just adds to the damage that he does on every one of his attacks. The other type of cards are powers. Once you play those, they're in play for the rest of the fight. I'm not... Cut Through Fate's alright. For sorting your deck out if you've got a big deck that doesn't do a lot. It is itself a card that doesn't do a lot, unfortunately. Okay, yeah. I can't remember if that actually put one of the cards into my hand. This fight's a little weird. When you kill one of these, they'll make you vulnerable, which means you take 50% more damage from anything. But when we've got the one card that is given us 5 of to start the run, that's powerful enough that we can just blow through. Let's pick this. This is a pretty nice thing. It's a card you can't actually play, but when you draw it, it just adds 2 cards that go away when you use them and add 1 energy to your turn. If I don't know what. Now there's no point healing here, so instead we can choose to upgrade one of our cards. I'm not really sure what to do. We don't have any really good upgrades. Possible we should just do this. And this is the other elite that you can fight on the first floor. This guy will sleep for the first 3 turns and he won't do anything. After that point, he wakes up, he starts hitting you really hard, and every 3rd turn he'll debuff you. Which is, it can be really nasty. We're just gonna straight go for him. As soon as you hit him for damage, he wakes up. I think we would like the miracles. Yeah, these will stay in our hand even after we finish a turn. Normally your cards get put in your discard after a turn. I'm not sure we can not get hit here. The first problem is not getting hit. As soon as you get hit, the issue becomes not getting killed. Yeah. I think most people say he's a crab. The Lagavulin. I don't know what Lagavulin means actually. That might be a clue as to what kind of creature he is. A lot of people complain about the game's art style. It is something you have to you cope with rather than actively enjoy. It would be better if we didn't have the artwork that was drawn by coders on the cards rather than artists. I'm gonna do neutralize. It's not a priority for us right now, but and this is a boss. There's 3 different bosses you can get on each floor. As soon as you start a floor, the picture at the end changes to show who you need to be working towards. The Hexaghost is probably the worst one for the first floor. And you'll see why in a minute. He doesn't do anything on his first turn. On his second turn, he goes absolutely bananas. And he's going to hit us for 30 damage. We definitely want to survive it. We're not going to be able to avoid taking damage here, unfortunately. If you can beat bosses without getting hit, you get loads of points, but it's not going to happen. Unless, actually. This potion I've got is quite a rare potion that makes you intangible. When you're intangible, every attack that hits you does 1 damage. I might have lost focus on the window. Oh no, Hexaghost, when you come in the room, is just quiet. The music kicks in when he flames up. Normally when the music cuts out, it's because I lost focus on the window. Now he's gonna be he's pretty weak for a few turns, but once 6 turns pass, each turn a fire will light up. Once 6 turns pass, he does his big move again. I'm wondering if we can get away with getting angry. I think I'm going to try and do it. That's quite a lot of damage now. We could use one of these potions. I think we are taking a little bit too much damage from Hexaghost. I don't think he attacks next turn. So we might be able to just beat him without taking damage. I probably should have used a potion, but we're like halfway through the fight now, so I don't want to... I'm not getting the same value out of it. Now we're about to get hit, that's a shame. And Hexagos puts these burn cards in your deck, which you can't do anything with, and they'll play themselves at the end of your turn, and you'll just take 2 damage. It's a real jerk. Okay, we're not gonna... It's on 1 health. So we beat him fairly easily, but we did take damage, so we won't get the point bonus. I don't really like the scoring system. It does want you to do everything without getting hit. Which... I like to think of as like your health as a resource, and you can use it up to get other bonuses if you need to. Beating a boss always gives you a choice of 3 rare cards. The gold ones are all rare. These aren't very good though. I'm tempted to go for Lesson Learned just because it's fun. All for One's really good, but we haven't got anything that works with it yet. We only got Neutralize and Crescendo, and that stays in our hand anyway. We could pick All to One aspirationally and try and work towards it. Lesson Learned's kind of fun, but it does cost 2 energy, and it's a bit rubbish. Let's go All for One. It's always fun when it works. After being a boss, you get to pick from 3 normally quite good relics. These are all terrible. I'm genuinely tempted to go for Empty Cage, which is... we'd just be able to drop 2 cards. Putting cards into your deck is really easy. Taking cards out again that you don't want anymore is really hard. So you can end up with... you normally end up with like a bunch of half-finished combos and stuff that you just gotta deal with once you get to the last boss. It's the same for everyone. It's kind of a bad run. A lot of the relics you can get from a boss, there's a downside to them, but they'll increase the amount of energy you get every turn. So, rather than being able to play 3 cards, be able to play 4 cards a turn. Ring of the Snake's okay. It means we have 6 cards in our hand every turn. An Empty Cage, we'd take out 2 strikes. We don't really need these. Clutter, cards that are just clutter are kind of a problem in this game. Gonna go with Ring of the Snake. And that just switched our first relic, so we didn't even get a new one. Once you... like, the cards that you start with are just so weak by the end of the game that these are just dead weight in your hand. Like, you might play them, but any other thing you could be doing would be better. So you do want to think about getting rid of them. These symbols on the map mean that there's a shop there. And at shops you can pay to get rid of cards that you don't want. So I think I'm going to take this 2-shop route. You can also pay to add cards into your deck, but... this guy's really annoying. I don't think there's any point, but I could All for One that Neutralize right back into my hand. Problem is, it still won't do anything. This guy has Artifact. Yeah, he starts with 40 block, and he'll keep blocking. If you can find a move... there's moves in the game that will hit him through his block. If you can get him with those, he just dies, because he only has 20 health. But if you can't, you can be in for a long and fairly annoying battle. I think we let both those happen. This is an ability called Scry, which just lets us look at what we're going to draw next. And if we want, we can discard one of the cards we would be drawing in the coming turn. I think I actually have enough damage to melt him from here. He also does this frail ability to you, which means you get less block. He has all the block and you have no block. I'm gonna try Endless Agony with All for One. I'm not sure how it works, because they're for different classes and I've never had them both together before. Throwing in Beam Cell again for a All for One. These relics we could buy look pretty rubbish. Who's your hero? What's going on? I need to explain that when I'm... Alright. We're gonna make it work. Shops also have these grey cards in that you can't get. Well, you can sometimes get from events, but you can't normally get anywhere else. These are... The bomb is very funny to try and use, but it is extremely bad. And Madness is normally just clear. It sounds really good, but you're realizing that it kind of takes up a slot in your hand that doesn't really do anything. And then you have to pay energy to play it. Question mark rooms can have events like this in. We have to choose which knight we think's gonna win. Tempted to what do you think? Are we feeling lucky? I mean, normally you just go the easy, the likely one, but let's give it a go. Did we win? Okay, never mind. You can't win them all. This is a problem. Never mind. Easy come, easy go. Don't really need either of those. Crescendo right now would be a really bad idea. I think I'm just gonna shell up and hope we get a better hand next turn. Shame we drew All for One on the first turn. We need other stuff to be in our discard for it to work. I like cards this turn. Could Crescendo now, but I'm not entirely sure. I think we can Crescendo and just kill them all. We can 2 of these kill the back one. If I've done my maths wrong, that's gonna look very silly. Okay, easy. None of these will do it. The Silent, which is the character we're playing as, she can do an ability called Poison, which is just... It stacks up as you use some of her cards on the enemy, and they'll take that much damage every turn. It's real nasty. Hyper Beam's pretty nice. These relics are pretty rubbish. Apotheosis is always fun. Every card can be upgraded at a bonfire, which is a thing you'll do instead of resting to heal. We could pick up Waffle now. I didn't realize how low our health we're getting. I'm tempted to go Hyper Beam. Yeah, we can get mad and blast everyone for 52 damage. And all we lose is Focus, which is a mechanic for a different class that we're not using. Focus affects how much our orbs give us. So if we use I can't remember. We've got one that gives us an ice orb. If we use that, and then we use Hyper Beam, the ice orb will be completely useless. It won't even do anything. But we're not relying on that orb for anything. We can definitely kill one of them here. The Birdman. This bird guy is the worst. Actually, both of these enemies are the worst. So this guy does an effect on you. That means every time you play a non-attack card, not even a skill, you get a Dazed in your draw pile. So if you've only got like a couple of cards left to draw, it'll just fill it up with garbage. And this guy gains 3 strength every turn. So he's hitting us for 6. Next turn he's going to hit us for 9. Turn after that he'll hit us for 12. This is not so bad on his own when you can easily deal with him, but there's an encounter where you meet 3 of just this guy, and it's one of the worst in the game. Okay, beam sulfur. Not sure we... No, we do, don't we? Yeah, we go. Yeah. The 3 birds is actually there's another guy we haven't met on this floor we'll probably run into. That's just a plant. He's so bad. He hits you for 21. He doesn't even build up to it. He just hits you for 21 every round. Well, not every round. He does another. He debuffs you and then he hits you for 21. I don't think we need anything here. Dual wield's always fun, but we could dual wield hyper beam. There's a chance. I'm gonna slip that in just in case we get a chance to dual wield hyper beam. I don't think he necessarily debuffs you first and then hits you for absurd amounts of damage. I think he can just come out of the gates swinging for 21. This is the Gremlin Gang. It's one of the harder elites on the second floor. This guy will keep summoning a bunch of random tiny gremlins. There's 4 different types he can summon, and they each do different stuff. He'll also buff himself a lot if you don't kill him quickly. He'll buff himself and he'll buff any of these that are around. The fat gremlins, sorry. The fat gremlins make you weak, so your attacks do less damage. The shield gremlins block one of his friends. There's a wizard gremlin that charges up a really powerful attack and then hits you for 25 if you don't kill him in time. I think the other one just stabs you and he does a mediocre amount of damage. I'm gonna go right for this other dude here. Regal Pillow's normally quite handy, but we do not have much health. Actually, having low max health is really bad, because when you rest, you get back a percentage of your health. So having low max health also means you can't heal effectively. We have got to dual wield hyper beam. How much damage is that? Yeah, he's dead. Just all in one. The buck is stabbing, he's another enemy that hits you harder and harder as the fight goes on. Any of his attacks that get through, even when he's like... Well, any of his attacks that get through add a wound to your deck, which is a card that does nothing and doesn't go away when you draw it like Days do. But when he's hitting you for like 6 times 5, that means if they all get through, he'll give you 5 wounds in your deck. So he can be pretty nasty, but I think he's the easier one that you can find on this floor. The other one we didn't encounter is probably the hardest. These birds are annoying. They take half damage from everything until you hit them 3 times in one round. Then they'll fall down. And again, there's a version of the fight where it's just 3 of these birds. Most things in the game can be really tough if you haven't thought about them when you were putting cards in your deck. And also this game you can just make it ludicrously difficult for yourself. The difficulty settings just get... There's 20 difficulties. Well, it's called Ascension mode. And each time you beat it, you can play it through again with another modifier that makes the game harder. How much damage is that? That's 70 somewhat. And then if we strike, I think we've got him. We don't need to worry about those days because they go into the draw pile and we're not going to draw anymore. But like, it starts out like enemies have more health, enemies do more damage. And then it gets into weird stuff, like you can only have 2 potions. I think the last one is when you fight the last boss, you then fight a different last boss. You just fight another one. This is the plant I was hoping we won't meet. He's just hitting us for 21. We haven't even done nothing to him. That's a bit more manageable, actually. We're actually fully blocking him. Every time you hit him as well, he gains block. And the more times you've hit him, the more block he gains. It resets at the end of the turn. Definitely want to Hyper Beam him. We're pretty powerful right now. This daily runs mid is very strong, so we are able to deal with the plant. But I've probably lost more runs to this plant than anything else in the game. That's quite annoying. I think he hits us. Yeah, we can't do anything about it. Kept playing cards assuming it were going to work out, but it's not going to work out. We don't need to avoid taking damage from him. It's just kind of a shame. I should have played the block though instead of that. That were very silly. Could do Indignation. I quite like it actually, because we could kind of use another way to get into Wrath. The deck's getting big and we might just not draw Crescendo. But also, if we manage to get into Wrath, we could really use another way to do Vulnerable to maximize the damage we're doing. What would the upgrade do? Not really worried about. When you add more of a thing, it lasts for more turns. I think 2 vulnerable off Beam Cell is more what we're worried about. 5 is a bit high. We're not too worried about a turn going 5 extra rounds. A fight going 5 extra rounds. This is a problem. This is a really bad first draw. Neither of these enemies are particularly... Well, this guy's really annoying, but none of them are super dangerous. We've just got a really slow start here. We're going to dual wield Neutralize, not because it's great, but because we can get rid of all those artifact charges. And we can draw all those back into our hand with All for One. Neither of them are hitting us, so I'm not going to bother blocking. I'm trying to think of reasons not to just play Hyper Beam. Not coming up with much just yet. I think we got him. You might, like, this combo is absurd. You're not meant to be able to enter Wrath and then use Hyper Beam. They're on different characters. You wouldn't normally see those in the same deck. Still Chaos is a bit weird and I can never find the right time to use it. Nightmare's pretty good though. It's not really good for us right now, but I do have a hard time turning it down. Nightmare's one of the most fun cards in the game. I'm sure we could find something to add 3 copies of. That'd be fun. Problem is, that is our whole turn. It costs 3 to use. It's got some really good dev art on though as well. I don't think we can use it. We just don't have it's the 3 cost. We do have the miracles though. Maybe we could. Give it a go. For the boss we've got the champ. We can lower it to 2 cost, why not? The champ's thing is, once he gets to half health, he's extremely dangerous. I don't see anything we want a nightmare right here. So I'm gonna save that till later. Because once you use nightmare, it exhausts. When a card exhausts, it's out of your deck. You'll never draw it again for the rest of the fight. One of the characters can do some really fun stuff with just burning all of his cards to do ludicrous amounts of damage. You gotta be a bit careful with dual wield, because once you've everything you double stays in your deck. So we now have 2 extra brilliances. Could be a problem if we need a block. It's a bit silly using it, to be honest. Can definitely hyper beam him. It's a shame we can't make it hurt anymore. If we save these, we'll generate more of the self. I'm hoping we can. We'll play 1. We don't need too many. The reason I picked it up is because I'm hoping if we skip 1 and then draw all for 1, we can pull back 2 endless agonies instead of 1. I don't know why I bothered about it though, to be honest. It's just not that good a card. It's really good early on if you just to do 12 damage for 0 energy. Trying to actually use the once you redraw it, it'll duplicate itself effect. It just doesn't seem that good. I thought I'd give it a go because you never really use that effect, but it's not done much for us. Could get mad. A problem is the class that uses this ability, they can switch between 2 stances. They can switch between calm and wrath. So you're meant to like go into get angry mode, do your punching, then switch into calm, so you don't take extra damage. We can't do that. We only have the wrath half of that combo. We can only get mad. Once we get mad, we'll never calm down. Champ does a lot of debuffs on you as well, but I'm gonna say with the passive block we're getting, there's just not that big a threat of him hitting us. He almost did then. Once he gets below half health, he does really high damage. Then you worry about him. Okay, he's just hitting us with 27. Just to keep us on our toes. That is going to go through. I don't think I can do it about it. Block a little bit, but it's not. That's a bit worrying. I'm not sure if we lose this fight. Because we don't have many blocks. I'm gonna try not to get too disheartened here, but there's a chance he's got us. So we're not blocking again. We can get 3 block. I don't think it's worth doing. We're gonna get hit for 10 damage, and he's gonna debuff us again. We kind of just need an opportunity to go off on him, but we hadn't drawn like a really good hand. I I think we go now, because he's gonna... The next turn, he won't do anything. He'll buff himself. But he won't do anything to us. So if we can kill him in 2 turns by getting mad and just hitting him for all of the damage, that's the easiest way for us to win. I'm even going to use Nightmare to make sure we have Brilliances in our hand next turn. Ah, we got Hyper Beam, we did it. Shouldn't have worried. Okay, we didn't do it, but he is on 22 health. He'll clear his debuffs, but he will still be on 22 health. He's hitting us for 108 right now, so we probably want to finish this before he gets that off. I'm a little bit worried that we don't actually have the damage to do it. We go. A little bit close. It's fine. That's a real shame. These cards are all rubbish for us. This and this are really good cards when you're the right class, but we're every class. And we happen not to be able to use any of them. Okay, none of these give us energy again. Wrist Blades is pretty good. It'd really help with the All for One thing. We're kind of desperately trying to get going. Black Star is really fun. It just means you're dedicated to hunting all the elites down next floor. Hovering Kite's changed. It's weird now. I don't think we discard though. We only got Survivor. I'm gonna take the Wrist Blades because it's fun. It's probably the worst possible pick there. We should have gone Black Star. I want to make it work. I want it all for one. This is the Awakened. He's pretty tricky. He's got some stuff. We'll see if we get to him. We're on 48 max health now. I'm not sure which path would be best. I'm not sure if we go for the elites. The elites on floor 3 are really strong. The difficulty spike between floor 2 and floor 3 isn't as bad as between floor 1 and floor 2. But there's certain things that are really... that'll trip you up. We don't need to block this turn, because if we kill this guy, we don't need to worry about it. These like little robot things, that first one we killed, that'll explode if we don't kill it fast enough. The second one will put daisies. It'll put daisies in our deck. This guy's really annoying. He'll keep buffing himself to increase the amount of thorns he's got on him. When you hit him, you take that much damage back. So you can get to the point, if you can't kill them fast, where they are... It won't happen now, because we're about to demolish both of them in one hit. We can get to the point where hitting them is costing you like 20 health. We can now become calm if we feel the need. I think we go for that. Tranquility is really nice. It'll stay in our hand and just let us stop being angry if we feel the need. Hedging my bets a little bit. We don't need that. That event always gives you the same relic, and it always costs exactly all of your gold. That would be a very expensive red mask. These guys you have to kill all at the same time, or they'll come back. They're annoying, but they're not normally that dangerous. And we do have that Hyper Beam thing that we can delete an entire swath of enemies with. We are going to get hit, though. A little bit worried, because the max health is really going. Oh no, we don't quite get hit. Don't quite do him. Well, we probably want to block. No, we don't actually need to block. We've got the ice orb that's going to give us an extra 2. Probably want him to be vulnerable then. And we hit him with that and that. This guy's going to come back to life. Annoying. It didn't matter though. I'll be one moment. I'm back. Sorry about that. Actually, you might have. Okay. Kunai's a really nice relic. Every time you play 3 attacks in a turn, you gain 1 dexterity. Dexterity means every single one of your block cards, the number is 1 higher for the rest of the fight, and that'll stack loads of times. Is it lag? Video lag and not audio lag? Because last time you said that, I thought you were talking about just the sound, when the sound was crapping out. But I have been told before that people have had trouble watching my stream. I'm gonna be... Oh, the sound's gone because I'm looking at stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I am very new to doing this. It's probably doing something wrong. I don't know if you actually heard that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I can do about that. I will look into it. I don't think I can do anything while I'm live, but I'll have a look and see if I can work out why. You are not the first person who's complained that my video lags a bit much. Shame. Sorry, Shadow Fox. That's quite a lot of hits coming in on us. We'll be able to kill one of them, but we are going to get hit here. Should we become calm? Might as well. It's probably not Shadow Fox. Literally, I think I've had 3 people come into my chat who weren't in the house, and 2 of them have complained that the video were lagging, so there's a... It could well be me. It's not a big sample size to really work from, but... Oh, is it just, is it not, is the video stopping, or is it just that you're behind? Well, that it would be that it's stopping, wouldn't it? If you refresh it, it'll catch back up, but, I will have a look. I should have probably done the research before I started streaming. I didn't really know that there were a problem though, because it was just one guy before now. The nature of having such a small audience. We're gonna let him do that. Hop into just hyper beam them all away. Okay, we don't get hyper beam, but we do get to do some stuff. We could drop the daze because it doesn't do anything, but we really don't want to drop daisies back into the deck so they come around again. We want to keep these so they disappear. And this guy, we're going to take 7 damage every time we hit him now. So I do think maybe we get mad here. We'll leave it. We can't do that much damage to him. That's good. We'll see. It might happen again. We are gonna get hit here, and I can't avoid it. I could just let him go. No. I'm gonna hyper beam him. He's annoying me. So we took damage there from hitting him, but we didn't have any blocks. Nothing there that we can really use. I got him. Don't worry about it, bud. This is like my least favorite elite. And I was really hoping, when I clicked it, I thought, hang on, what if we get the ghost? And here is the ghost. We might die to this guy. He's real bad. The ghost, he only has 3 moves. He can do this one where he adds 3 burns to our deck. That's fine. We've got a pretty big deck at this point. Well, we normally would have. We actually only have 29 cards. Had a thought. What would this look like? Would this just be too many miracles? But the really annoying thing, he has one like weak attack and one really strong attack that hits you for 45. But big deck. But the worst thing he does is every second turn he becomes invulnerable. So we can't hyper beam him. Well, we could, but there's no point. Also, I've got too many miracles. That was too many. You can only have up to 10 cards in your hand, so we didn't even get to draw a full hand that turn. We're gonna block. We've had these potions the whole game, and I've been forgetting to use them. Yeah, this guy's the worst. Yeah, we could hyper beam him now. It'd do 1 damage. I did it anyway because I might as well. I'm gonna play 1 miracle, even though we can't really use it because we need to be able to draw a full hand. He's only doing 27 because he's weakened. He's doing 40% less damage, and he's still hitting 27. This is the 40 damage turn. We can hit him this turn, though. I'm not sure we do quite enough, you know. Yeah, we're not getting him this turn. We will have Crescendo, but we won't be able to play next turn because he'll be invulnerable. And he has hit us quite hard now. We're only blocking 11, so he's going to hit us again. If we play all 3 attacks, we will get 1 more dexterity. I'm not sure how much that'll help. I think we've filled the deck with too many attacks, and we can't deal with enemies like this who you can't just rush down. So this was a failure in planning. It looks like we're just getting rolled by this one gross enemy, but this was... I didn't plan hard enough. I knew that this guy could come up, and I should have worried about what would happen if he did. That were a pretty good turn, though. Unceasing Top's always nice, but it just... I can never get it going. None of these I think we can get going. That's a real shame. Feel No Pain's a really nice card, but it's really good on the class that can actually... that's supposed to be using it. We could do Infinite Blades. Infinite Blades ain't bad. This means we'll get a shiv every turn. And again, the dev art surprised me there. We do only have 16 health. We might as well heal. Normally it wouldn't even be worth doing at 16 health because we'd only get 12 back. But the Regal Pillar means we actually heal quite a bit. We're all the way up to full. No, that looks good. Turbo maybe, but we've got enough energy. We get so much energy. I could throw that right now. The problem is once I've played this, we don't have a way to get out of being angry. But against the normal enemies, I'm not worried about that. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna get hit again. We need blocks. We've not put enough in there. We can hit him pretty hard this turn and get rid of some of that block. Is it even worth doing another? Maybe. I'm not sure. I think this takes him down below the point where if we hit him with a hyper beam, it'll kill him. If we hit him with a Wrath hyper beam. We didn't get the Wrath hyper beam. We're getting hit pretty hard this turn. Okay, sorry, my voice completely cut out for a second. My recording setup's really dumb. I'm just recording a Discord call between me and myself. Because I couldn't think of another way to filter out the background noise on my microphone. I've got a really bad microphone. I'm hoping to get a better one, but like... You feel like I don't know if I'm going to stick with the hobby, so... I don't want to spend money on it and then just drop it. I think we do Infinite Blades. If you upgrade Infinite Blades, it's always in your first hand, guaranteed. Which is pretty nice. We haven't really used the shivs yet, though. And that's... Oh, I keep hitting the thing on the side. We don't really have any other upgrades to do. Reptomancer. She's a bit easier than the Ghost. She'll keep summoning these little knife things. If we let her keep... If we don't kill them, she'll eventually just overwhelm us with tons of them. You don't normally get to that point, though. Of course, we didn't draw a great hand. And these knives, on the second turn that they're up, they will explode for 25 damage. That's pretty nasty of them. We're also not drawing attack blocks again. Having 3 energy the whole time is really... It's not done good things for us. I think we're going to use a power potion, just to see what we get. 1,000 cuts is pretty good against this enemy. Yeah, that's what we're going with. It's not going to help us out of this. We're still going to get hit for a lot. Do we die? We're going to be very close to death. Should have played the defend blast. Okay, we're on 9 health. This is a problem. I think we get mad and just go for it. We're doing so much damage this turn. Oh, that did it. Still, got a little close. Storm of Steel could potentially be nice, but we don't draw that many cards. We do. What we do is we rush down enemies with like 100 health really quickly. I think that's all the deck does right now. We'll try Infernal Blade. He might save us if we get lucky. We're going into the last boss, and I'm not confident that we'll be able to beat him, I'm afraid. Take a second, Infernal Blade. Maybe that'll help. Infernal Blade could be anything. You never know. This guy's pretty annoying. He'll, every turn, turn he puts an effect on you, that means you take damage every turn for the rest of the fight. I'm believing as hard as I can, but the Awakened one's pretty tough. Hemokinesis is good, but I don't want to fire all of our blood at him. We do need a little bit of it. If we did double 18, well, we'd lose 9 health if we did what I'm thinking of. Dude, we still won't do enough damage. Not even close. He's gonna hit us. We've reached the point where all the enemies can just hit us, because we don't have any blocks in the whole deck. I don't know what I could Nightmare that'd help. I could Nightmare the Shiv, and we have 3 Shivs next turn. 4 Shivs next turn. Would that help, though? Let's try it. So yeah, every turn we're just taking 10 damage after we finish what we're doing. I think I've found out whether or not the Shivs will help. Is my hand full? Probably. I'm not sure if we have to go this turn, because he's in us for 32, and we can't block. We can block for 6. So we're gonna get mad and hit him as hard as we possibly can, I think. Will this help? That will not help. None of these things will help. We got him just. I should have just done the math. We'll take the Shrug off. That's a pretty nice card. It's a block. I'm not sure we can afford to lose the 2 max health. No, we can. It does mean we're going into the last boss on 31 maximum health. I should believe more. I should believe harder. You're right. I'm not sure if we bother to heal, because we're only getting 9 health back, but 22 or 31 can mean that 1 hit's gonna do us. We'll go in on full health. We're going on 30, I think. I think we maybe take the deflect. I'm not sure. I don't think we can put enough blocks into our deck right now to turn this around. I think we needed to think before now, how do we beat an enemy with more than 100 health? And I think we're just on a slow death. So this is the Awakened one. He shows up with 2 cultists. You need to kill these before they go crazy, because they're going to gain strength every turn. The Awakened one can't do anything except hit you. All of his moves are just damage. He has a multi-attack and he has a big single attack. His multi-attack is really dangerous because every time you play a power, he gains strength, so he'll do an extra 1 per hit. We don't need to block this turn, though. So that's nice. If we play the power... I think we do play it. No, we probably shouldn't. How much value do you think we're getting out of Infinite Blades? I don't think it's doing that much for us. I really didn't want to see dual wield there. If we discard it, it's doing nothing for us. And if we draw it now, it's still doing nothing for us. I'm hoping to get that later. Might as well draw it now. No, get rid of the defend. We'll draw it now, it don't matter. The only potion we've got left is this Thorns potion. So enemies will take damage when they hit us. But we'll also die, because we have 30 health. Might as well dual wield this. I probably shouldn't have actually, because that means even more of our cards don't block. I'm trying to believe. It don't matter, because we can't play any of them. Yeah, we're getting hit again. It's not so bad yet, though. From here, we're not that doomed. We could crescendo, then hyper beam, then cam back down. I think that's what we're doing. We'll play these first. That's 24 damage, and this guy, he's about to do a cheat, even if we get him. He's gonna do something infuriating. I can play 3 attacks and then block. I think we need to play one of the miracles to do it though. And that'll mean we just managed to block this turn. You don't know how he cheats yet. He's gonna do it. How many 0 costs have we got to draw? That's not too bad. And one of them's deflect. That's really handy actually. That means we block this turn. Could nightmare something, but I don't think there's anything worth nightmaring. What do we get from this Infernal Blade? That's not bad. Actually, it's not that great. I didn't realize Smite cost you energy. We're gonna get him, but he is about to cheat, so get ready. I do think we can deal with this. However, oh, what's this? The fight's still going. Weird. He's got no health left. Do it again. And now he's harder. The Awakened one, you have to kill him twice. The second form, he doesn't have the thing that means you can't play powers. So you're free to buff up as much as you can. But all that gives us is a Shiv that we can play every turn. I am going to duplicate the Shiv. I think we can survive this turn. He's going to hit us for 20, and we have 17 health. We got 2 free block. We can play both these. That's not quite enough, but if we dual wield the Shiv, now the blocks are worth 1 more, so we survive on 1 health. So it's not quite over, but it's basically over. He's real scary now. Okay, now he's hitting us for 30. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm sorry, Shadow Fox. We got this is death. This hand is nothing. We block for 16 and then get hit for 30 with 1 health. Well, we block for 17. I don't see where we can win. Even if we block for 18, he still demolishes us. We're gonna hit him as hard as we can, and then we're gonna accept defeat. The run is over. That's a pretty good score, though. That is a higher amount of points than anyone who'd played it before I started my run. And the goal of the daily challenge is to... Alright, a few more people have played it now. We're 26th! And that's not bad. By the end, we'll be like 200th, but yesterday we were 282nd. We did alright. We gave him... He knew we were mad at him when we died. I can play a bit of 762 if you'd like. I do have plans. I would have to stop the stream for a minute to just set that up. What do you reckon, Shadow Fox? Are you down for a little bit of 762? This game is amazing, by the way. If it looks good, absolutely buy this. It's a cool little indie game. The people who made it are great. They keep adding extra characters into the game for free. When it started, there were just these two. Now there's 4. And each one has a completely different deck. All of the cards are different. I'm gonna stop the stream for a minute. I will still be here. I'm just be setting stuff up.